What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Six Figure Morning Show, where we give you the best advice in business and life. Good morning, guys. Hope you slept well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, this morning we're going to talk about your credit score, what it is, how to build it, how it drops, how it rises, how it works for you, just what it does overall. And we're also going to talk about budgeting, how to create a proper budget. These are two easy subjects. They're very easy to talk about. I know, so this video may not be too long, but I am going to stay until I get my point across. There are plenty of videos on topics like this on the internet. I cut the fluff, guys. I'm just being honest with you. I cut out all the bullshit. Okay, so if that's what you need, then this probably won't be the one for you. If you need some real visualization, like a whiteboard and things, I don't see any sense in it. I think most of you are smart enough to be able to handle this on your own. So what is a credit score? I think I want to say this because I am talking to the masses. I want you guys to remember I am talking to a wide variety of men, women, black, white, Asian. I have people over in Africa listening to me. I have people in Uruguay, Ghana, India, Canada, Russia, England, Ireland, El Salvador. I have people all over the United States in various situations listening to me. Okay, so let's touch on that real fast. I cannot, guys, you need to understand, take what you need and leave the rest. Take what you need and leave the rest. Some things I say may not pertain to you. They just may not. I'm sorry. But when you read my comment section, I have people that are commenting that they're homeless, living in their cars. I have young women telling me that they just had their first child and the father wants nothing to do with it. I have young boys telling me that they're now on child support and they're 21 years old. I have young men telling me they're couch hopping, that they have nowhere to go. You understand? I have older women trying to figure out how they can retire. I have people asking me what to do with $250,000. Do you understand? I'm talking to the masses. If you need me to specifically tailor and cater to you, then schedule a one-on-one coaching. I'm very cheap. I am very cheap and I know my shit. I am very cheap right now. I'm trying to get my name out there and my business out there. I am very cheap. So you're getting in on the ground floor. The price will rise. It's going to go up, I promise. But right now I am very cheap. So if you need me to cater and tailor your specific needs, feel free to reach out to me through Instagram or Facebook for one-on-one coaching. Working on the website, working on all these things. It takes time, but it will come in the near future. Feel free to reach out to me through those platforms and we can do one-on-one coaching. We can do a video call. We can do a teleconference call, however you want to do it. Everything you tell me is private, is personal, and never gets repeated to anybody. It just doesn't. It never gets repeated. It's never talked about amongst anybody. Your financial business, your divorce, whatever, it's your business. So anyways, just please keep that in mind. And guys, keep that in mind. I'm talking to the masses. So what is your credit score? Your credit score is an imaginary number that the banking system gave you. Listen to me. It's an imaginary number that the banking system gave you to see how likely you are to repay a loan. It is to see how trustworthy you are because they do not know you individually. They don't know, oh, that's Bob. He's good. Oh, that's Sarah or Sally. They're great. They don't know. So this little number, this little 3-digit number verifies that you're good or that you're great. That's all it is. That is all it is. It is going to dictate what type of interest rate you get. Interest is the money that you pay back on a loan. So let's say that I get a 10% interest rate, or let's just be real. I get, I don't know, a 13% interest rate. Let's just say that, it's what it is. You're getting a 13% interest rate. 10% is real as well. I don't know why I switched that, but you're getting a 13% interest rate. If you borrow $100, then you have to pay back $113. If you borrow $1,000, then you have to pay back 1,130. You get it? That's what your interest rate is. So when you see that, you need to think of that. So when you go to a car lot and they try to slide in a 30% interest rate, then you need to look at that in the long-term effects of everything and realize how much you're going to be paying over the price. So you have your price, and then you have your interest. You have your principal, which is your price, and then you have your interest. So you need to be able to say, hey man, yeah, I know I'm about to pay 30,000 principal on this car, but I also have a 25% interest rate. What's 25% of 30? The fastest way I do that in my head is 50% of 30 is 15. So that means I'm getting ready to, and then you get it? What's 25%? What's 50% of 15? It's about 7,500, right? So that's just the fast way I do it. So that means that I'm going to pay 37,500 roughly. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying 7,000 over what the sticker is with that interest rate. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to, 4 a.m. I'm hoping I'm making sense. But back to the credit score, I'm gonna get away from interest rates and back to the credit score. Your credit score is an imaginary number that the banking system gave you. This is what I tell people because this is real. When I was homeless and I had nothing and I had to figure everything out for myself, I looked around society. I deleted all forms of social media. I completely disappeared from the world. And I looked around at everything around me and what people were doing and how they were all just marching around like good little soldiers and listening to what everybody was telling them to do, especially during the C-19. I was watching all this stuff and I just didn't conform. I didn't have anything to lose anyway. So, I mean, I didn't care. I didn't care if Paul Revere rode through town, the British are coming. I didn't give a shit. I didn't have nothing. So I was sitting there and I was looking around and I was like, all this is fake. Like all of this is made up just to keep your wheels spinning and keep the financial system moving. It keeps that big old money wheel turning. And I was like, this is all fake. And that's when I started looking at everything and I was like, man, your credit score is really fake. It's 100% fake. But do you need it? Yeah, you need it. You need it just like you need a debit card now, just like you need cash now. You need it. And sooner or later, yes, you're going to need some form of CBDC and Bitcoin or something. Yeah, you need it. If you want to function in society, you need a credit score. If you want to disappear off the grid or whatever, you don't need a credit score. You don't need that at all. You just need to secure a plot of land and go. Then go. So your credit score is an imaginary number that the banking system gave you to see how reliable you are to repay a loan. It fluctuates. It goes ups and downs, highs, lows, peaks, valleys. It will always go up and down. If you stay on top of it, if you properly manage it, if you're going down this road of wealth creation, then you should properly manage this. It should be part of your, at least a weekly routine, guys. Guys, I check my stuff every day. Okay, not necessarily credit, but I look at my overall financial portfolio every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. All right. I enjoy doing it. I enjoyed this, but this needs to become a daily habit or at least bare minimum, a weekly habit to where you sit down every Monday morning or Friday night and you look over your entire financial system. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you are broke. I don't care where listen, something else I don't care where you're at, but you need to study and look at your financial situation every day. But let's take a minute to touch on this. I saw a young lady in the comment section and she said that I'm so poor and yada, 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 some other things. Listen to me. Listen, all of you. You are not poor. You are broke. Broke is monetary. Poor is mindset. A broke man, a broke woman can make more money. A poor man, a poor woman cannot. You understand? Broke is monetary. Broke is money. Poor is mindset. You're not poor. You're just broke. How do we make more money? Stop the negative self-talk. Stop the self-doubt. Let's execute. Let's get a plan. Let's execute. Let's stay positive. Yes, you're just broke. It sucks. I've been there many times and I don't want to go back. So I'm serious. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I tell that story about Thomas Durant, building the railroad, becoming a billionaire, and then freezing to death in New York. You know what I'm saying? He died broke and probably poor. It probably depressed him that bad to where his mental health declined, and the man probably died broke and poor. I could see that happening. And if it happens to me, I'm going to embrace it because I'm so into my own story. I'm so into my own journey. If I woke up and lost everything after creating $100 million net worth, I would be so depressed and poor about it. But I would embrace the life that I lived. I really would. I mean that. So anyways, but that is your credit score. It fluctuates. It goes up and down. It is an imaginary number that the banking system created just for you. It is attached to your social security number. It is an imaginary number that they created just for you that tells them how reliable you are to repay a loan or repay a debt or any money borrowed. That's all it is. It will fluctuate. It will go up and down. If you properly manage this thing, if you start to manage your portfolio, you have to become the CEO of your own life. If you start to properly manage your finances, guys, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you work at McDonald's, and I don't care if you're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. You need to be properly managing and looking at your finances. I look at mine daily. I understand if your bank account is empty, then I get it. You don't want to keep looking at it because there's nothing there. I 100% get it. Or maybe you do want to keep looking at it because there's nothing there and allow it to motivate you to get up and get something. You're going to have to take action to have something, guys. You're going to have to take action to have something. You cannot just sit on the couch and wishfully think. You cannot put on freaking money affirmations on YouTube and go to sleep and think that you're going to wake up 888. Bullshit. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen, guys. I wish it was that simple. I wish it was. I wish the universe was all giving. I really do. And it is, but you got to take action. The universe will give you what you want out of this life, but it's going to put you through the ringer. It's going to beat the hell out of you. It's going to. It's going to ask you, how much do you want it? How bad do you really want this life? And it's going to beat the shit out of you. And then you're going to wake up and be like, holy hell, I took the hits. I took the punches. To become a millionaire, you have to become a millionaire before you ever have $1 million. You get it? We on the same page, guys? I've made a lot of content about this type of stuff. You have to become a millionaire before you ever have $1 million. It's up here. Because if I handed you $1 million right now, what are you going to do with it? You're going to go buy something. You're going to go spend it all. You're going to go waste it. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to grow it? Most people don't. Why do you think a lot of people that hit the lottery end up broke? Because they have no idea. They did not have the mindset for $1 million, guys. So again, your credit score is an imaginary number that the banking system gave you to see how likely you are or how reliable you are to repay a loan. It will fluctuate. It will go up and down. I do not hang my hat on a credit score. I have great credit. My credit is the high 700s. I have great credit, but I have a trifecta. I have great credit. I have great income, work history, 3 to 5 years of work history. I actually have 5 to 7 years of work history. And I have cash. So you really ideally want a trifecta. You need to look at these 3 things and realize what I'm saying. You need credit, work history, and cash. That's it. And that right there is going to put you in the game on whatever level or whatever you're trying to do. A trifecta of credit, work, and cash. Verifiable income is work. Trifecta. That's going to throw you in the game to almost whatever you're trying to do on your level. The more credit you have, the more income you have, and the more cash you have will allow you to rise quickly in this game. You will be able to walk in the bank. Let's say that you have a perfect credit score. Doesn't have to be perfect, but mid to high 700s. Let's say that you have 7 to 10 years of making $65,000 to $100,000 a year. And let's say you have 100,000 cash. You can walk into that bank with your head held high and say, I need this, this, and this. And they're going to look at you and say, all right, we'll take a shot. You understand? So last time, man, your credit score is an imaginary number that the banking system gave you to see how likely or reliable you are to repay a loan. It will fluctuate. It will go up and down. There's guys, I could beat this into you like beating a dead horse. It will go up and down. And the reason I don't hang my hat on a credit score is the fact that I have great credit now. And as soon as I make a mistake, say I lose my job, say I get sick, say I fall ill, say I catch cancer, as soon as that happens to me and I can't work for 6 months and my credit and I fall behind on bills, it will drop drastically. They don't give a fuck about you. I don't know where I'm losing this in the comments. I don't know where I'm losing this in the crowd out there, but they don't care about you. You go catch cancer today and you freaking can't pay your bills for the next 6 months and you start to fall behind on the car payment and the credit score and the car payment and the freaking credit cards and all these things. That score that you babied so much, that you kept precious to you, like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, and you're precious, your baby, and you babied it. You will watch it go from a great perfect score down to nothing, all because you got sick and ill. They do not care. That's why I don't hang my hat on a credit score. That's why I tell you to be cash heavy. Okay? Ideally, you want a trifecta. Please understand the trifecta. Ideally, you want great credit, job history, and freaking cash. If I caught cancer today, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run through my credit. I'm going to take everything I can from them. Understand this. Understand this. If I caught stage 4 cancer today and I knew I had like 3 months or 6 months to live, I'm selling everything. I'm running through my credit. I'm borrowing every damn dollar I can, and I'm cashing out. And I'm going to give my sons a bag of cash. I'm not going to leave them with fucking problems and debt and bills. I'm going to hit them with a duffel bag of cash. Here, motherfucker, daddy loves you. It's the God's honest truth. Now, if you got massive equity, massive wealth, things of that nature, that is a different scenario. But to your average W-2 employee that has been trying to do everything right and they're only making 65 grand a year and all these little things, and you got a small trifecta, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning it all out. I'm getting rid of everything. I'm cleaning out and I'm giving my boys cash so they can move on, move forward in their own personal lives to whatever they want to do. I'm going to leave this earth free and clear. Am I making sense? But now if you're a major business owner or you have multiple rental properties, things like that, you already know I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you because now you need to be looking at trust and you need to be looking at everything else, guys. My channel, this show is the 6-figure morning show. It is to help people get from a low income to their first 6 figures. My book is called Your First 100,000. If you need me to cater to you, you're sitting on $250,000 or however you're looking at franchising, you're looking at rental properties, things like that, got no problem with it. Schedule a one-on-one. I can handle all that. But right now, I like talking to the younger people that need help. I really like talking to those people and helping them because I'm trying to make them understand and see how things really go. See how the world really works. So that's the reason I don't hang my hat on credit, guys, because anything could happen to you and they will drop your score. It's just like your employer. Your employer, you go get hurt, you go something, man, anything. You get sick, your dog's about to die. You tell them you need a couple days off to take care of the dog. We can't do that. We can't go with that. Then, it's things like that, guys. That's why I tell you to get cash heavy. That's why I tell you to be cash heavy. It works. So you want a trifecta. Ideally, you want a trifecta, but cash heavy really works. Cash heavy is really smart and responsible. The trifecta is what you want. The trifecta. That's what you need to aim for. Credit score, job history, and cash. Those 3 things right there. You want it. I love a trifecta. You guys know it. And that's what you want. And that right there, you're playing the game. You're in it. You can go do whatever. If you can get those 3 things, if you can get a trifecta, you can go buy a car, a home. You can start flipping houses. You can go and get a small line of credit depending on your income. There's all kinds of things you can do with the trifecta, guys. A trifecta is what you want to shoot for. Good credit, job history, and cash. You want those 3 things. And these are things that I've made up. These are things that I have made up myself. I don't know, nothing anymore is original. I don't know if anybody in history or something has talked about stuff like this. I don't know. But for me, I never have heard it. These are things that I have made up, because I do get comments from time to time about, oh, it sounds like such and such or such. God, nothing's original anymore. It's like get rich or die trying. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent might have coined it. All you younger people might know about it from him. But I guarantee you, back in 1340 AD, there were pirates sailing the ocean screaming, get rich or die trying. I guarantee it, somewhere there were pirates sailing the ocean. There were Vikings coming across the freaking water talking about getting rich or die trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's those things. I mean, come on, guys. It's 50 Cent might have coined it or whatever. Or, you guys talk about Coach Greg Adams with the meat. I don't believe it was meat. I really believe it was something like eat or something. But I was hearing that shit in the 90s. It might have been Tony Robbins. They used to say stuff like that. Like, that stuff's been around. But, it takes one person. Just like somebody's probably coined cash heavy, but you guys are hearing it from me. And if I keep on repetitively, repetition, beating it into you, you guys will be like, well, Robert Edson's cash heavy. He's cash heavy. You understand? But somebody else in the past probably did it. And I don't know about them, but I'm sure they did. It's a very common term. You get it? So, yeah. But as of right now, I don't know anybody else doing it. So I hope that's explained your credit. You guys need to rewind back a little bit, watch it a little more, but that's all it is. Your credit score is an imaginary number that the banking system gives you to see how likely or reliable you are to repay a loan. That's exactly what it is. Make sure that thing was still on. These things, man, that's exactly what it is. Just to see how likely you are, reliable you are to repay a loan. It will fluctuate. You do need credit because you need to survive in society, but you do not need to hang your hat on credit. Credit is only there to allow you to borrow money. So if you don't know how to leverage debt, if you don't understand that, leveraging debt, you don't need to be out there borrowing money. You don't need to be out there maxing out your credit. To any young man or woman that does not understand these things, you need to get cash heavy. I don't care what anybody says in the comments. I don't give a shit what anybody says in the comments. If you're 19, 21 years old, you do not need to be focused on credit. You need to be cash heavy. Okay? Cash heavy at that young age. And then you spend, say you're 19 years old and you just get cash heavy till you're 25. You just stack cash. Brother, you're in the game. You're in the game. Hands down. The bank's going to look at you like, this kid's smart. He just needs direction on the paperwork side. You're in the game. And I think a lot of people that have money would agree with me that if you're very young, you don't even need to be worried about credit. You don't need to use it. You just need to go to work, live on your income, and stack cash. Stack cash for future investments. You need to be educating yourself, but you do not need to be pulling credit, because at a young age, you're pulling credit for what? You're pulling credit for a car, which is a very negative asset. It is a sinkhole. All right. If you have to use credit to buy a car, you probably can't afford it. I tell you guys all the time, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. Guys, I'm an old man and I talk about that stuff. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. And I even look at that almost to housing. I understand that's a big twice. I understand that. That's a big times two. But it's almost true. If you scrounge around for pennies and dollars to buy a house, when something happens to that house, how are you going to be able to fix it? And then somebody's going to say, well, I got homeowners insurance. Yeah, you sure do. Sure. Truth still stands. The fact of the matter is, you've spent all your money to buy a house and now you have no money to maintain that house. Buying a home is not an asset, guys. It's a liability. Buying a single family house is a liability. The only way I'm going to buy a single family home is if I eventually get to my dream home and I'm done and I'm not moving again. Not saying I'm retiring, but I'm not moving again. My dream home is personal to me. And the only way that I'm buying anything, single family, anything, is if I get that and I'm not retiring. I'm not retiring. I'm just not moving again. I'm going to live there until I pass away. That's the only way. Other than that, then the first income property I would be looking at is going to be a duplex. That's the first income property I'm going to be looking at, is either a duplex, or if I'm on a very low income and I'm really just starting out, I'm going to look at renting trailers I'm looking at renting trailers until I can build up. I don't really like the trailer deal, but that's something you got to do your own due diligence on. I've done the trailer deal years ago just to kind of build my income, because you can buy trailers for $5,000-$10,000, clean them up a little bit, and turn around and make another $5,000 off of them. It's fast. I bought a trailer cash. I don't remember what year this was. This maybe 16, maybe. I bought a trailer cash, cleaned it up and turned around. I bought it for 7 cash and I turned around at one time. I think this was 2016. I bought a trailer for 7 cash. I might have put like 5 into it. So say I'm 12 all in and I sold it for 18. You know what I'm saying? I did all this in like 2 months, like 60 days. I flipped that money in like 60 days. So that's why I tell you guys to operate in cash. There are people saying that, it takes 6 months. Like, where are you buying houses that it takes you 6 months to close the deal? I don't know. I'm not knocking you. It's never taken me that long to do anything. So when you operate in cash and you buy things for cash money and it's already paid for, all you have to do is do a transfer of title. That's it. I don't know where you got, I don't know. I don't. So I can't speak to that because I've never had to do that. I've never bought anything and it took me, 6 months to close anything. Honestly, the God's honest truth, the longest it takes is for them to mail you your title or your deed for you to get your information. That's the longest process. But to actually transfer one item to another, one thing to one person to another, you guys to actually transfer one thing between hands, between two people, that transfer process is not that long when you're dealing with cash. It's very, very quick. As long as everybody's in agreement, it's very quick. The longest process is dealing with your local and state government to send you over all your paperwork. That's the longest process. But the actual transfer itself is very quick. Sorry to jump off topic like that, but I just wanted to say that. So we've covered the credit score. I hope you guys completely get that. Now let's go to budgeting. Budgeting is simple. I'm obviously not gonna pull out a whiteboard. Maybe I need to set something like that up for you guys, but I think everybody in my comment section is smart enough to handle this. Budgeting is simple, guys. When I budget, I just take a piece of paper and I do it old school. I take a piece of paper, I draw a line down the middle, I maybe make a T, at the top. I might top it off, make a T. And one side's gonna say incoming, the other side says outgoing. I operate in incoming and outgoing. I'm an old soldier, man. I got incoming and I got outgoing. All right. And that's what it is. That's how my mind works. Incoming, outgoing. So I am going to have one side of that paper is going to say incoming. How much money do I have coming in and from where? W-2, my job, business. I do hair in the kitchen. I cut grass, whatever it is. All my incoming money on one side. I want all my incoming on one side. How much money do I have coming in? Get it down. I don't really get down to the penny. I usually like to round it off for fast math. So, if every month I check my bank account and it's consistent with $5,865. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and say for the incoming, I'm going to go ahead and say I get $5,800. You get what I'm saying? I'm just going to go ahead and round it off. I'm going to scratch the 65. I'm going to say I get $5,800, and you'll see why in a second. So every month, if my bank account says that I get $3,335, I'm just going to say I get $3,300. I'm just going to round it off. I get $3,300. 3,335. I get 3,300. My incoming is 3,300. My outgoing, this is going to be your rent, your lights, your water, your gas, your child support if you have it, your car insurance, your car payment. This is going to be your food. Food needs to be 2 categories. Food needs to be your actual groceries, because we all buy groceries for our home that we cook, whatever that looks like to you. And this also, we all eat out. So you need to have your groceries, and then you need to have your eat out or your food or whatever you choose to call that. But you need to make sure that you have your restaurant money. So I do rent, lights, water, gas, child support, insurance, car insurance, life insurance, whatever you got, everything that's coming out, everything that you're spending money on. And instead of just putting down the exact amount, like I said, I like to round off. Say that if I have a payment that comes out every month and it's $1,865, I'm making it $20. And you're going to find out why in just a second. I'm rounding up. So on my incoming, I'm going to go down. I'm going to round down to the lowest. I'm not going to round up and act like I have more money coming in. I'm going to act like I have less coming in. And on my outgoing, I'm rounding up. Okay. And the reason I do this, I don't want to confuse you guys. I hope I'm explaining this right. But the reason I do this is because it leaves wiggle room for those little extra expenses. Maybe somebody decided, you guys everybody operates just like I do. And maybe you guys looked at your payment of something and it charged you $3 extra. Or the bank charged you $3 for an ATM withdrawal or whatever. There's always those little hidden payments. You got gas and it charged you whatever, 65 cents or whatever. There's always, you guys know what I'm talking about. There's always those little hidden fees that come out. You bought minutes for your phone and you had to pay that extra whatever, taxes on it. So when you put down your phone and you say $55 a month, just say 60 if you're on a prepaid month to month, it's like 55 or 65 bucks. So if your phone is $55, just say 60 because you're going to be taxed. So I go ahead and I throw in extra money for taxes for those damn debit card swiping fees. I just round up. So my incoming, I round down. My outgoing, I round up. And then on the outgoing income, it should be pretty easy because you probably only have certain things incoming. If you have way more, the guys, I'm talking to the people that are, if that only have like a W-2, that, your typical Walmart worker, your Amazon factory worker, things like that, your incoming, just what you make. I want that down. I want after taxes. I do not want before taxes. I don't care. I want after taxes. I want what actually is giving to you, what hits your bank account in your incoming. I don't care about what the government takes. I don't care about any of that other stuff. I want what comes to your bank account. None of that other stuff is relevant right now when you're budgeting. None of that other stuff is relevant right now. Okay. Just what actually comes to you, that comes to your bank account. That's it. And then on the outgoing is going to be all your lights, water, gas, your rent, your insurance, your child support, your food. Food needs to be broken down twice into groceries that you buy and fast food or restaurants where you eat at. I also want you to put in there beer, cigarettes, your alcohol, your freaking weekends out. Like, how much are you spending going out on the weekend? Give a rough estimate and round up. Be honest. How much are you spending? And I want you to put all this in. You smoke cigarettes, you smoke weed, whatever it is. I hope you don't have a drug problem. If you do, get past it. Get that shit out of your life so you can move forward and live a happy, successful life. Get alcohol out of your life so you can move forward and live a happy, successful life. You can't climb the mountain of success under the influence of drugs and alcohol, guys. It's not going to happen. It's just not. I harp on that so much. So you young people out there, I don't care what you see on TV in the movies. I don't care what rappers or that shit is a lie. You're not going to be successful under the influence of anything. You're just not. 50 Cent is a great example of a businessman. Yeah, he's rapped and this and that, but that man tells you, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Chase that, okay? For the young boys out there, chase people like that. Not the freaking pillhead, not the cokehead, not the crackhead that's telling you to do that stupid shit. Chase the man on top. You understand? Chase that. So that's budgeting in a nutshell. I got my side of incoming. Over here, I only want the dollar amount that comes to me. That's all I want. I don't care about any of that other crap. What do they give me? That's what I have to deal with. All right. I focus on my controllables, and you should too. That is a controllable. That's what they give me. That's what I focus on. Over here, I have my outgoing, my rent, my lights, water, gas, food, everything. Break food down twice. Alcohol, weed, cigarettes, tobacco, cigars, whatever you do. Weekends, spending nights out, your girlfriend, if you got a boyfriend and you spend money on them all the time, put it in there. And then I want you to add all that up and see what it is. And I want you to down at the bottom, and I want you to see what that is. What does that look like? Incoming versus outgoing. What does that look like? Okay, now we got a full thing. I got, $3,500 a month coming in, and I got, $3,500 a month going out. I'm breaking even. I'm not even being able to save nothing. That's when I look at it and I say, cigarettes are gone. And hey, man, I'm serious as shit. I did it. Don't tell me you can't do it. I did it. Cigarettes are gone. Alcohol's gone. Weekends out are gone. Friends are freaking gone. I'm done spending money on this girl or guy. They're going to have to see the situation and start helping me or kick rocks. Seriously. If your partner is not on the same page with you, it's never going to work, man. It's never going to work. Gone, gone, gone. I'm scratching everything off. For me, I got all the way down. Netflix, gone. Hulu, gone. Disney Plus, gone. Oh, I got rid of all that shit. Now, once I did that budgeting and I got everything gone, I went from that, say, roughly $3,500 a month to, okay, man, I'm only spending $15. I'm able to keep $2,000. Yeah, I might have to live like nobody else. Since you guys love to compare me to like a ghetto Dave Ramsey, I might have to live like nobody else. So later I can live like nobody else. I'm gonna have to come up with my own saying. I can't be using that. I can't, but that's the truth though. A lot of his information is very good, but it's not practical for people on low incomes. But look at that. I got $3,500 a month coming in. I didn't even have to go work harder. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to say goodbye to half my damn list of bullshit. And now I'm saving $2,000 a month. I'm serious, guys. When I cut out freaking alcohol and cigarettes from my life, I actually have that wrote down somewhere. I don't have it in front of me, but when I cut out alcohol and cigarettes, I want to say that it was around like $6,000 or $7,000 a year that I was able to keep of my income. It was like 6,000 or 7,000. Pay attention to those things. Look at those things. Break it down in that manner and be serious. If you're not serious, man, it ain't going to work. Just being honest. If you can't kick the cigarettes, if you can't freaking kick the weed or the alcohol or whatever, it's not going to work, guys. It's not. You're going to have to dump that shit and start stacking cash. I hope that helps. I really hope I've explained budgeting well. We could circle back around to do this later at a later date. I sometimes, and it's not me repeating myself, guys, on the actual video, if I repeat myself, it's because I'm trying to beat it into your head. And if you see me make a very similar video, it's because the channel has grown. If you see me repeating a video from the past, the channel has grown. I'm talking to the masses, so I have to get back to the basics. We have to cover credit and budgeting. I haven't even done a credit and budgeting video, so thank you guys. I appreciate that for bringing that to me. If you guys have anything else like this, I would love to do stuff like that for you. I don't mind. But that is what credit is. Your credit is an imaginary number that the banking system gave you to see how reliable you are to repay a loan. You do need to focus on it because you live on planet Earth. But if you operate like I do, I'm telling you now, I'm being straight transparent. I have good credit, I have job history, and I have cash. I built a trifecta for myself. In the very beginning, when I was broke, I did not give a shit about credit. I knew that I needed to break the cycle. And that cycle was going to be broke with a job that I could handle for a long period of time, 3 to 5 years, and stacking cash. Because if you don't stack cash, you're going to find yourself in a repetitive cycle, never ending of, I paid off debt, I need money. I paid off debt, I need money. You're going to find yourself in this cycle over and over and over again. You have to break the cycle. You have to cut the head off of the snake. And the best way that I found that could do that was to disappear, not pay the credit, which I wasn't, no. But not just to disappear, not pay that freaking credit for a while. I was already broke. I didn't have anything. There was nothing they could take from me. You know what I'm saying? So when you're homeless, when you have nothing, when you have absolutely nothing, there's nothing they could take. Change your phone number, change your email, and get serious. Get locked in. 2025 is around the corner. If you're 100% broke and you have nothing, get locked in. In 2030, you'll be living a whole new life, guys. A whole new life. If you listen to me and you do the things I'm telling you to do. I'm not talking about 401ks and Roth IRAs. When you're broke, that shit's not even on your radar, man. It's not even on your radar. If you get locked in 2025, do what I'm telling you to do, you will wake up 2030 a brand new man or woman. It's impossible not to. As long as you stay locked in for those 5 years, it's impossible not to. Promise you. That's where you break the cycle. That's where you break the poverty cycle for you and your family. Right there. The universe is going to ask, how bad do you want it? And you're going to have to be the one that locks in for 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years. You're going to have to be the one to do that, because every time you want to climb up to a new level on this mountain, it's going to be a whole new process. You're going to get the hell beat out of you all over again. You're going to re-enter no man's land. It's going to get real uncomfortable. Okay. So that's your credit score, an imaginary number. You want a trifecta, guys. You want a trifecta, but you got to create your budget to know what you can do. All right. You got to start doing these things. I create a budget. I don't know. I'm pretty solid at it now up here in my head. I know I got all my things. I look at them daily. But I would say whenever things were real messy for me financially, I probably created a budget. Guys, shit, I was on it, man. I was probably messing with it every week. But realistically, I went to the whiteboard probably once a month. You know, I'll sit with a piece of paper and kind of, doodle some things out. But realistically, I went to that whiteboard, I wiped it clean, and I started over every month. I became the CEO of my own life. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. For you to think that the banking institution, that the government, that your freaking employer, they do not care about you. All right. You're going to have to take action on your own. You're going to have to become the CEO of your own life and do the things you need to do for you and your family to get ahead. The information that I'm giving you guys to the masses is practical. It is real because I did it. Guys, I did this. So what I tell you to do are things that I have done. I see the comments. I don't give a shit. I care less. What I'm telling you to do are things that I really did, guys. There's no fluff here. There's no lie here. I can close my eyes and I could tell this same story because it really happened to me. I really did it twice. I did it twice. And for people in the comments, there's a guy in the comments that said something, if you did it twice, then it doesn't work. No, guy, it does. It works. I'm not telling you to be a millionaire because I'm not a millionaire. I'm not telling you how to become a millionaire. I already told you guys. I've already told you that in order for me to get to my millionaire status, for me to start seeing 7 figures, I had to teach, because eventually you're only going to go so far. So this is my next level. My next level looks like books. It looks like speaking. It looks like talking. It looks like writing. It looks like motivation. It looks like digging deep. It looks like early mornings and late nights. It looks like hitting the gym. It looks like grinding it out at my 9 to 5 for 50, 60 hours a week, and then coming here and working with you guys, taking one-on-one coaching, building my business, building my brand. This is my next level, guys. I've already conquered the level you are at. I've already mastered it. And now I'm teaching you how to do it. I'm teaching you how to just start playing the game. I'm stepping into a new game. I'm headed towards a new tournament, a new match, a new arena, and I'm making sure that I bring you guys with me. That's what I'm doing, and I'm doing it in real time right here in front of you right now. Have great plans for the channel. Hopefully I could start working with some people in the near future. I'm trying to get things. You guys know I'm not a tech guy. I don't have the tech skills. I don't claim to. My skills go to about Microsoft Office, Microsoft PowerPoint type stuff. I understand Excel. But when you start getting into the back rooms, guy, I don't have that. When you start getting into the back rooms of these platforms and websites, I'm doing the best to learn what I can on my own, but I don't have those skills. So I'm definitely, trying to seek out some form of teamwork. I really don't want partnerships. I don't know. Those are things that we'll talk about, but I'm seeking out some form, something of somebody to help me in that area. So I'm working on that. It's very confusing to me because I've always had other people to handle those types of things. So it's very confusing to me. I'm still trying to learn that, guys. So bear with me on that, guys. I'm old school. Everything I still do, I love to write it out. I love to have the pen and paper. I love that. I do. That's just who I am. I would prefer to write pen and paper over type on this computer any day of the week. I love it. I read real books. I don't read on tablets. I like to turn the pages through my hands. It's something about it. the nostalgia, the life. It's just something about it. That's what I like. I like that stuff. That's what I like, guys. That's who I am. Nothing wrong with tech at all. It's the way of the future, guaranteed, hands down. I just stay in my lane. You understand? And that's what you need to do. You need to stay in your lane. If your business operates better on pen and paper, then do that. Do it. I know a man right now in Paducah, Kentucky, whose whole business, and he's a multi-millionaire running a multi-million-dollar business. His whole business operates on pen and paper. He still prints receipts. He still gives out job orders and work orders. It's insane, guys. It looks, when you go in there, guys, he has not changed that business model, and it works. When you go in there, it looks like it's 1985, 1995. It's what it looks like. He has not changed his business model. It is still very similar to something you would have seen in the mid to late 90s. And it works. It freaking works. And he's rolling, man. Ain't nothing stopping him. He's got contracts with partnerships with Lowe's. Matter of fact, he does most of Lowe's windows and doors. That's what he's in. He's in the windows and doors business, and he does most of Lowe's all throughout the Midwest. He runs Paducah, Kentucky, St. Louis, Nashville, Kansas City, Oklahoma City. Like his company rolls that far. He's got about 50 trucks. He builds doors and windows, and he sends them all throughout Lowe's. So when you go to Lowe's and you go back in the doors and windows department, his whole business runs off. He doesn't have social media. He doesn't have none of that mess. And his entire business runs off of freaking steel, old school paper. He does old school printouts. When you go in to get I used to work for him years ago. When you go in, you get your work order. It's handed to you on a sheet of paper just like that. It's printed off. It's very thin paper that he gives you. And he pushes on. He never conformed to modern society, but it didn't leave him behind. He just stayed in his lane. And I think it was amazing. I love to see it. I'm glad that he's still alive and thriving today. I am. I'm not going to say that will work for everybody, but it damn sure worked for him. So it's like my granddaddy said, if the man in front of you can do it, you can too. But for me to step in, I have to step in through the tech side. So I'm definitely trying to build and brand some things here and learn as much as I can about this world, because I've been out here in the real world for a long time, and I'm trying to step into this one. Okay. So other than that, guys, I'm going to leave it here, man. I got to get myself ready, get ready for work. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I hope I explained this and broke it down well enough for you guys to understand. If you got any questions, anything, leave it in the comments below. If you would like to hire me for one-on-one coaching, feel free to reach out. Best way to reach out is Instagram or Facebook. Feel free to reach out to me there. Other than that, guys, man, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.